The Clinton body count meme, where did it come from? People don't like this, but I'm gonna bring up another one. Pizzagate, where did it come from? It came from Reddit and 4chan, and it came from people making up a list of cross-references words and then saying, well, this guy keeps mentioning pizza too much. Okay. And then somehow that had to do with Hillary Clinton. Yeah, it literally was started by a group of people who were notorious on 4chan for making fake stories up and messing with people and getting to seeing if they'll take the bait. Nobody wants to listen to me. Okay, well, what's the origin story for this one, the Clinton body count? It's revenge by an attorney called Linda Thompson in retaliation for someone creating the Bush body count meme. These are political slanders. And if it's such a stable thing, why does it change all the time? I mean, people keep getting removed from the list because they get debunked. So what happens to this this body count list? We just throw new bodies on. Clinton, the entire Clinton family could be dead for 10 years. Someone's going to throw another body on the body count list. It's politically useful. It's a way of annoying people and distracting them so that they won't look behind the curtain and see what's really going on in whatever party you're looking at. Same thing with the Bush body count, probably. I'll do a video on the Bush body count. I think it's probably just as much BS, but maybe not. But here's the thing. Politicians buy people off and make them sign a contract that says that they'll lose triple the amount of money or more if they ever talk. They hush people up all the time, but they do it by buying them off or giving them what they've always wanted in exchange for them to just shut up. Or even better, this is actually something that's been found. Some politicians get caught doing something bad by somebody, and instead of getting outed, they do something simple. They ask the person, what do I have to do to get you not to tell anybody so I don't get kicked out of office? And you know what they'll tell them to do? Undo what you did wrong. And what'll happen? The politician, because they have power, will go through and fix what they did that was bad if it's fixable, and apologize, and they'll also pay them off. That means no one has to die. Some good is done because you've undone some evil thing that a politician does, and hey, maybe the politician learns a lesson. Or the politician could go around killing dozens of people, and somehow Linda Thompson found out about it only after she heard about the Bush body count. Many of the people enumerated on the list, which changes all the time depending on whether or not everybody knows that it's BS. I mean, how many copies of this exist? How many different names? There's also one for the NASA body count, right? Some of the people on the NASA body count aren't dead. People don't care about facts. But anyway, here we go. Many of those people have met Clinton or known him, in quotes. He wouldn't be able to pick him out of a lineup even if he wanted to, because politicians have contact with thousands of people. I have technically contact with Ronald Reagan and Jimmy Carter. I sent a letter to them, and both of them responded. I have a signature on it and everything. It was done by somebody else. In the case of Jimmy Carter, did look at my letter. He just didn't know it was me. He doesn't know my name, but he saw it. I gave them both an idea on something. It doesn't matter. The point is that doesn't mean they'd be able to pick me out of a lineup. I can recognize them because they're famous. Famous people who are politicians have contact with thousands of people. And I'd like to point out that there's like a 3 to 5% chance a person's going to die, if they die, in a way that isn't completely satisfactorily explained. I mean, it's most likely a heart attack or a brain hemorrhage or whatever, but it's not always completely clear-cut. But if there's no sign of ill will towards them or any sign of foul play, they just say, okay, died of natural causes. But it's like 5% of the people who die from a cause that can't really be totally determined. The odds of a person who has contact with thousands of people who remember them as being a personal friend or a contact or a business partner or a politician, the odds of all of them not having at least some of them die weird, that's a little bit odd. But anyway, someone found 40-some of them. Okay, here we go. But Clinton wouldn't be able to pick any of these people out in many cases. John F. Kennedy Jr. I'm going to do because he's a famous name and everybody brings him up. He first obtained his private pilot's license 1 year before he was certified to fly. 1 year before he flew the airplane he died in. He was certified to fly under visual flight rules only. He wasn't an instrument-rated pilot at the time with any training. They even mentioned him needing to have a real pilot with him because he was still considered an amateur and still in training. Oh my goodness, nobody talks about it. His estimated total flight experience was about 310 hours. And only 36 of that was in the plane that he was in that he bought 3 months earlier. At the time of the accident, it's been declared an accident, always has been, the weather and light conditions were such that all basic landmarks were obscured, making visual flight a challenge. This is statements by other pilots, not by people on the ground estimating what it would be like. These are people who were in the air that night. Some pilots flying similar routes as on that night of the accident reported no visual horizon. They couldn't tell the difference between the sea and the sky. Oh, by the way, it was over water because of haze, and both radios that he had on his aircraft were at had incorrect frequencies selected. They were set for frequencies for send and receive that would confuse things. If he flipped them opposite, he'd been able to communicate better. There was a communication error. All of the people died on impact as the airplane hit. Navy divers found parts of the plane strewn 120 feet down over a broad area of seabed. He wasn't shot down with a missile. They didn't hit it with a radio signal jamming thing. The aircraft he was in was mechanical feedback type. No, it wasn't hijacked by hacking it. Wikipedia articles are cited below because they get to the point pretty quickly. The Snopes article also does, and it just goes to the Clinton body count list, which changes every once in a while. If you look up a static list, they take people off of it when it's, oh, well, that wasn't a conspiracy theory death. So they just throw more on there. It's like a top 10 list. And it was created on purpose to keep this meme alive. The point is you keep pushing. It's a wrestling joke. I'll just keep poking you in the cheek until it hurts. This doesn't hurt you? Well, I'll just keep doing it for an infinite period of time because I have nothing to do. I have no life. And I'm apparently a lawyer. Am I bugging you yet? I want attention. Nobody gets this? Trolling? Anyway, list of conspiracy theories: Clinton body count, John F. Kennedy Jr. plane crash, American Justice Federation. You might want to look that one up. I love how people pick these names. It's sort of like on YouTube, if someone says they're a truther, you know they're going to lie first freaking state. First beginning iteration of their existence as an entity in the universe is to tell a lie, like the devil cannot stop themselves. It's so blatantly obvious. Snopes article, and then Vault 7. I'm just going to include a link below to that because that's an interesting subject you might want to look into. Because it is. That's an example of something that has some credence in reality, some information about it, and actually has the ability to make a damn bit of difference in your life. Meanwhile, you can complain about a body count from politicians knowing each other and other people randomly knowing the politicians, and some of them, not all of them, but a few of them dying under conditions that aren't perfectly satisfactory, especially if you lie about those conditions. And again, it's just like the NASA body count where everyone says, well, this person died mysteriously. No, they didn't die mysteriously. The person died at the age of 80. From being old. They died from the old. People bring up these body count lists because they know that when you knock one off, they'll just add another. It's another form of gish gallop. The more people you can add to a list, top 100 list of stuff, the less you have to worry about it ever being taken down. And now someone chips away, I'll just throw some more random names on there. And I'll just make sure I don't give enough references so someone has to do my work for me. And I'll say, do your own research. It's not like this is a childhood behavior in a sandbox. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. And if you can bring up real examples of people dying mysteriously that aren't connected politically, that would be good too, because that actually happens. Bye.